Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. At first glance, the leaks for Shapeshifters Team 3 were looking abysmal, but then, well, we'll just have to look at it today. EA's trying to cook for this third time around of the Shapeshifters promo that's already starting to feel a little bit too long, but we're still needing to know, are we finally going to get the big player SBC that a lot of us would like to see, and EVOs that actually give 4 playstyle pluses and upgrades that we want to see? We do have an EVO leak right now, but that might be coming today. We're going to take a look at that one, and there's plenty to discuss, hopefully before a good weekend of content on FC25. Let's get into things, guys. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Yesterday's content on Wednesday was very abysmal, to use that word once again. We had one player SBC, one upgrade pack SBC, and that was it. Now, the player SBC is a flashback. Leonardo Spinazzola, the CDM position changed card. He can also play right mid and center mid. The key stat here is he's got 99 pace. The key problem with this card here is he only has 3 playstyle pluses. The stats are good, but at this stage of the game, I'm really finding myself wanting to have 4 playstyle pluses on just about every single card. Now, granted, this card is very cheap, and if you want him so badly, you can absolutely put an intercept plus, put a long ball pass plus on this card, and it would treat him very well. I'm sure he's actually pretty good in game. He's only 4 squads to get done, 154,000 coins according to Footbin, 87, 88, 89, and 90 rated squads. Since Fodder is so cheap, that'll be an easy one to get done. But again, 3 playstyle pluses, and those stats, maybe the physical is a bit low, maybe the passing is just a little bit low for this stage of the game, but for a cheap card like that, it's not bad. It just needs, and I feel the same way about the evolutions right now, those 4 playstyle pluses on players is now kind of becoming the normal, and stuff that lags behind that just doesn't feel super worth it, especially when you have to go out of your own way to create the 4th playstyle plus with the evolutions that are out there. Now, the other SBC we had yesterday was the expected one, the Shapeshifters Team 2 Upgrade Pack SBC. It's pretty easy and simple to get done. Gives you a chance, of course, at the Shapeshifters Team 2 players. It does not include icons. I would love to see Team 3 include icons, because there's only like 4 icons in their packs right now. What's the harm? Are they really going to give us Dino or Cruyff from that pack? Like, that's, I don't even pack McTominay or Putellas or Rodri. Those weren't even packed that often from that pack yesterday. So what's the harm in including the icons? That's one thing for me that I don't understand necessarily from that one. I packed Mary Earps as a 96 rated from that SBC pack, so maybe a fun card to try, but you know, that's what that pack is, just a fun pack to try. Now, speaking of packs and SBCs, let's talk about Fodder, because as we mentioned, Team of the Season cards, which I think are going to be a very good investment this week, just like they were last week. These cards are a sell. They're all the way up to 18,500 coins, which is actually not up. That's kind of where they've been at, just shy of 19 to 20,000 coins, rising all the way up from last Thursday when they were 13K. What we're looking for today, once again, just to reiterate this, is these Team of the Seasons going all the way back down to about 13, 14K and getting in on that investment. Probably not going to take place, though, until after content, when the TOTS tradable SBC refreshes. Now, for the rest of the Fodder side of things, we're heading into Rivals Rewards today, and this is going to do 2 things. Once, it's going to make these Fodder cards really investable because their prices are going to drop. But with these prices dropping as well, if you want to stack up some exchanges and put some coins into packs, guys, I think the best value exchange right now is the 89 rated exchange, and this is the way to do it. Buy 1 Hegerberg, buy 1 Odegaard, because they're both right around 5,000 coins, and then instead of buying 2 other 89s for that exchange, buy Harry Kane and buy Kevin De Bruyne, because they are less than 7,000 coins a piece, and all the rest of the 89s are 8 to 9K. Even with the Rivals rewards we're expecting today, we could see De Bruyne back into the 5K range. Same thing with Harry Kane. Maybe Hegerberg and Odegaard are dropping like 1,000 coins as well. This could be a great opportunity to pick up some more of those cards to build the 89 rated evolutions, or the 89 rated exchanges, for a really low price. So that is one thing I wanted to mention today, because the 89 overall squad shifter exchange pack is 23,000 coins right now, and it might be as cheap as 20K, maybe even 19K after Rivals Rewards today. So good investment opportunity on the 87s, the 88s, and the 89s, because these cards should rise back up maybe a little bit. Or if you just want to build some exchanges for a cheaper price, buy those same fodder cards an hour after content on bid or on snipe. I say an hour after content, an hour after rewards on bid or snipe to get some really good prices there. We're going to talk about fodder a little bit more later, but that's it for content from yesterday. But there was a little news tab here with some teasers about Shapeshifters Team 3. And guys, I don't know what EA is doing with this loading screen, because with the leaks that we have here, I guess they're more so teasers and not leaks, but taking these cards that are on this loading screen and also taking into account the cards that are now leaked, that are hot off the press in the last couple of hours coming in Shapeshifters Team 3, why did EA choose these cards? Because we were looking at this yesterday on stream and just saying, this looks really mid. This looks really bad. Okay, a couple cards look decent, but when we actually found out who that 98 rated English left back is, we were thinking maybe John Barnes, maybe Wayne Rooney. It's not either of those two. However, let's get into the leaks and start this conversation, because as you can see here as well, we are getting the women's PTG cards for the Euros, and there actually are some good shapeshifters. That's what I want to look at. Now, for the cards on that loading screen, we do have Kingsley Coman. I'm actually a fan of this because Coman's always got some pretty meta cards. The weak foot's always the problem. Hopefully he gets boosted to 5-star, 5-star, but he's got the most meta playstyle pluses for a striker. He's got low driven, finesse, rapid, and the first touch with 98 dribble, 98 pace. Some people will say, well, we just had Elise. I mean, that's fair, but Coman's going to be faster and have higher dribbling than the Elise card, and actually Kingsley Coman has not had a card in a long time, since he had like a flashback SBC, I think it was. That was his last card that we've had in this game. So that card I have no problem with. Another Bayern special though, I can understand the frustration with that. Bayern has had a ton of special cards this year, even though, I mean, technically EA don't have the right licenses for them. They do, they don't have the Allianz Arena in the game. Now, of course, as we looked at yesterday, that's going to be coming to FC 26, but it is crazy how many Bayern specials we've had this year. Now, that's the Coman card from the loading screen. This card, I think this card's really interesting, but I'm confused at the same time. Yaya Toure is probably the highest rated and biggest name hero coming into Shapeshifters Team 3. He's a striker card, but if you look at his stats, I would rather play him at CDM still, I think. Sure, he's got 94 shooting and 93 pace, but 96 pass and dribble and 97 physical. Give this card the center defensive mid position change that is from the paid season pass, or maybe it's from the free pass, but from this season pass, you get a CDM position change. Put that on this card and just run him as a center mid or a center defensive mid. To be completely honest, that's where I would want to use this card, even with the aerial, quick step, incisive, and finesse. He would be a great CDM. I'm sure he's going to have, or hopefully has, because he is a base striker, so maybe he won't have anticipate or intercept. But when I look at those stats, I see a midfield Yaya Toure, not as much a striker. Like, why does he have 96 passing? I think if they were truly going to make him a striker, maybe 96 pace would have made a little bit more sense. But that is the Yaya Toure card. He's going to be the biggest hero for sure in this team. Eden Hazard last week, or this week, I guess. Yaya Toure coming for team number 3. So those are the two decent players from that loading screen. Now, the icon, we were thinking, yeah, maybe Wayne Rooney, maybe John Barnes. What's EA going to do here? It's Smith. It's Kelly Smith, who's had some very overpowered cards this year in FC 25. Remember her base icon and the Thunderstruck icon earlier in the year, the Finesse Plus for sure. She has so amazing finesses earlier on in this year. But now we have a left back card for her, which with these stats could be interesting, but 87 passing, 98 defending and 98 dribbling, 5 playstyle pluses, but like the playstyle pluses are confusing too. Do you use her as a left back? Do you use her as a left mid? Like rapid, finesse, pinged, finesse on your left back? That's a new one. But jockey and intercept, such a confusing card if I'm being completely honest. And now after seeing the other leaks that have come out for Team 3 of Shapeshifters, I'm so confused why EA have decided to advertise those 3 players. Coman and Yaya makes sense to me. But at least, especially the Kelly Smith card, what is going on there for that one? Now, let's take a look at the rest of these leaks that I keep talking about and mentioning. First of all, Sadio Mane is coming in Team 3. These are his official stats. That's a card. 97 pace, pass, and dribble. 92 physical, 95 shooting, pinged technical, low driven, and rapid. The funniest thing about the situation is you see it kind of in this response tweet by Weaver here on Twitter. What kind of shapeshift is this? Because he's already had a center attacking mid Moments SBC that came out in January, and he's getting a center attacking mid card now. So that's kind of funny. But those stats are really good. Like, if I take a look at Team 2 that is in packs right now and look through all these players, like, in my opinion, that card's maybe better than Puteus, and she's a striker, not as much of a cam. You look at the Bukayo Saka card. Saka has less pace, the same passing, less shooting, less dribble. He does have higher defensive stats than Mane does. So, there's a comparison a little bit there. But like this card, that looks like a really, really good card to me. Hopefully he's not super expensive. If Saka's only 400,000 coins, hopefully this card is going to end up being around 500,000 coins as well. But those stats look really good as a 97 rated. Let's keep going through the leaks. This is the big one. Why is this card not on the loading screen? Like, holy striker, 98 pace, 99 shooting, 98 dribble. This is endgame right here. Look at this card, man. Eusebio has the low driven, the finesse, the incisive, rapid, and the technical. Say hello to literally the best striker in the game, or at least top 2 or top 3. That card looks bananas. Now, I know he's going to be millions of coins like Dino, like Cruyff. It's going to be very difficult to pack him. But with the amount of Dinos and Cruyffs that you guys keep sending me on Twitter and in PS messages, they're out there. And that means this card's probably going to be out there for Team 3 this week as well. So that card is mental, okay? That is feeling like a card that is worthy of being released in late June, almost July on this game. And a card that if you hit, you've got yourself a true endgame striker. Now, of course, he better be 5-star, 5-star. Most of these cards should be at this stage of the game. But like, that is brazy, okay? That is a insane Eusebio. Left wing, maybe you're going to have striker on him as well. You could position change him too if you still have that Evo available there, as long as he doesn't have too many positions on his card. If you have 4 positions or more, which is basically the max 4, then you can't put another position change through those Evos on the card. So if he's got 3, you're golden. You can give him the 4th. But that's the crazy card right there. Couple more. Amad Diallo is coming in Team 3 as well. This one for me looks like one of those solid cards, kind of like Teo Hernandez this week, right? A big name, high player. Diallo is not as OP as Teo Hernandez, but they're both 96 rated, and there's a lot of people that are going to want to use this card as there was Teo. Incisive, pinged, low-driven, and technical with very good stats, maybe wanted a little bit better dribbling, maybe a little bit better physical as well, but you get 97 pace. You don't have a rapid or a quick step plus. That's one thing maybe missing for this card, but that's a good card, and it's Amad Diallo. There's going to be a lot of hype for him. Hopefully he's not super expensive. By the way that card looks, he shouldn't be too much more than 500k, at least after the weekend. He might start above that just because of the hype of him not getting a special card for a little while. And now him getting this one, but that one is there. Now, another icon that's being added to the list, Casillas, midfield Casillas. Of course, a lot of us know Team of the Year Casillas as one of the best goalkeepers from earlier on in his game, but he's coming back as a midfielder with some good stats. 97 pass, 97 dribble, anticipate, pinged, long ball, and technical. 85 defending as well. That's the lowest stat on the card. That's probably going to be a decent card in game as well for Casillas. So I think the icons are looking okay. The Kelly Smith, again, confuses me like crazy. Like, what is that card? But the Casillas and the Eusebio so far, we're still expecting at least one more, maybe 2 more at the most. Icons going to be added to this Team 3, and we're still needing a whole host of names for the rest of Team 3 as well. So watch out for more leaks today. But just considering those cards, the Eusebio, the Sadio Mane, the Casillas, and the Diallo, the leaks are looking a lot better than what it did yesterday when we were, seeing a 98 rated Kelly Smith 5-star playstyle plus confusing card on the loading screen there. The one thing I do want to say about the Eusebio card is to watch this version of him, because this is going to bring some hype back for Eusebio himself. Obviously, he's been an insane card this year. He's had the Immortals versions, this SBC that a decent number of people did. More people, I think, did Thierry Henry during Immortals for the little bro. And more than this SBC, but he's got the big bro card as well. And I just want to point out this card because the new one's probably going to be crazy expensive. This Eusebio could actually move back up a little bit in price. Just kind of keep an eye on him, like low 800Ks here. He's probably going to dip a bit more today just because people see that he's got a new card. But, that one's going to be a lot cheaper than his new one is going to be. So that's one thing I wanted to mention there with those cards. Now, of course, as a part of this loading screen that we have in Game 2, it kind of confirms what we talked about first in yesterday's video, that the Women's Euro Path to Glory cards are coming this weekend. Doesn't look like we're getting, at least for right now, those Greats of the Game icon cards. Still unsure how that's going to work out. We'll talk about SBCs for those and SBCs in general here in a second, but we do have the full team of the Path to Glory cards official stats by Donk. He tweeted this out a couple of hours ago, and guys, this top card here, the return of Rolfo, look at the state of that card. 94 is the lowest stat on her card, and this is a live item, by the way. I might just be rooting for Sweden in the women's Euros now. I might just be picking a country and riding with it just to see her card get upgraded. Incisive, low driven. You've got the anticipate and the technical. As a left mid, I'd really want to know what other positions she has. If that card has center mid, we are cooking, because that's going to be a disgusting card in game. And once again, these are live items. Before we look at the upgrades and how this works, Guro Reiten is finally getting a new card. Of course, she was leaked to get a Team of the Season SBC, and of course, that SBC has been gone into the gulag, as we'll say, as a false leak, whatever you want to call it. But we were missing that card. She now gets one here. Gioro's getting one. Midema from Manchester City. Again, who really cares about the clubs with this necessarily? It's more about the nationality. Salma Parluello, pretty solid card here with the technical first touch, low driven, and the quick step. Midema looks great for playstyle pluses as a striker as well. You've got Cascarino for France with 99 pace. You've got another Gwyn card. You've got a Jonsdott here for Iceland with 99 pace as well. Power shot, though. Maybe not the best. Minge for Germany. Irene Paredes, a second card for Spain with 96 defense and physical and good playstyle pluses. The one thing here that I'm kind of confused about is Harder. Harder's getting a Women's Path to Glory card here. She's going to represent Denmark for the live upgrades. But when you look at her Team of the Season card, the Team of the Season is better as a 97 rated than this one is as a 96. Now, again, I get it. They're alive. But that's one of the issues that I think we have here. James Turner and Bach and Kamshik as well. So some gems in here, you could say, for especially the Rolfo, the Guro Reiten, the Cascarino, Gioro, basically the whole top row, plus a couple of names on the second row here as well. We'll just have to see how it ends up working with the Euros and how these nationalities and how these nations progress in the tournament and how it goes, because the way these cards get upgraded doesn't look that difficult, if I'm being completely honest. These are the upgrades and how it works. Players Nation scores 3 goals. You get a +1 overall. So a +1 is going to be the first upgrade for a lot of these women's cards, and that should happen. I believe the tournament starts just in the first couple days of July, so that should hopefully mean that those upgrades will be coming in the next 2 weeks for scoring 3 goals in the first game or 2. That's easy. These cards going from a 95 to a 96, or in Sweden's case, Rolfo going to a 97, which is crazy. Same thing for Reiten and Gioro as 96s. But the next upgrades are as the following. Getting to the quarterfinals, you get 5-5 and 1 alternate position in all roles. The thing I don't like about this is these cards I would figure would mostly be 5-5 to start off. So why is that one of the upgrades? That just means that most of them are probably going to be 5-4 or 4-5. So I don't love that, but it is what it is. Players Nation qualifies for the semifinals. They get a playstyle plus. So that means all of these cards will be going to 5 playstyle pluses if they qualify for the semifinals, which is actually a pretty big deal there. And then qualifying for the final gets another +1 overall. So cards could potentially go to 98 rated if it's Guro Reiten, if it's Rolfo, Gioro. Those are the top 3. And also Salma P is a 96 rated. Actually, there's more, right? There's Cascarino's a 96. Paredes is a 96. Harder is a 96 as well. So this was not ordered by rating, I guess. But if any of the 96s do get to the final, that means they will be 98 rated. And if you win the Women's Euro final, you will get icon chemistry and a 99 overall card. So for some cards, that would just be a +1. Others a +2. But that's how those upgrades work. And to be fair, like we kind of looked at there, there's going to be some good cards in packs to at least, if you do pack one, be pretty excited about, and maybe just kind of pick a side. If the country that you live in is not in, like obviously for USA, not in that competition for the Women's Euros. So I'm just going to pick a side and kind of go with it. Maybe one of the cards that I pack will have some fun with that and be just kind of rooting for them, kind of bandwagoning, I guess, for the Women's Euro. So those are the leaks there, but I will kind of end it off by saying this in terms of the leaks. watch out for more because, of course, we have a lot of players that are not leaked yet. With the size of these shapeshifter teams, there is going to be more coming. And what we really still await, guys, this is the biggest stuff that we got to be watching for today. The player SBCs. We've been talking about it now for like the past week almost. Sure, we had Carva Hall. We've had some fun SBCs that have been cheap, but we need the big grindable player SBC. We need that. That's the one leak that we got to be watching out for is the player SBC. Is it going to be a big name? Is it going to be a 96, 97 rated card with really good stats, 4 playstyle pluses? That's what we're watching out for with the leaks. And with evolutions, we do have one Evo leak, but as I mentioned, I think it might be an Evo that's coming out today. Are we going to have another big Friday of paid Evos? I hope not. Are EA going to continue with these Butragueño and Berbatov type SBC and evolution combos? I don't think they will. Maybe they will. We'll just have to see. I kind of hope that that's done now, but we'll just see what this week 3 brings us. I think there's going to be more leaks on that today, and if not today, then hopefully early tomorrow and Friday. But, you know, usually on Thursdays, we do get a lot of leaks. So that's something to watch out for today, too, on the Twitter sphere. Now, let's take a look a little bit at the market because we do have Rivals rewards today, and I know there's plenty of you guys out there that want to buy Shapeshifter Team 2 cards for your squads. Now, as expected, we're thinking these cards are going to drop today. They've already gotten pretty low during the week, and what's interesting to note is Shapeshifters Team 1 is doing pretty well. So I think that brings some confidence for investing or maybe buying a card for your team from Shapeshifters Team 2. The one thing I'll say from this team once again is all the cards at this stage of the game, anything new that comes out, you just don't want to hold on to it for too long. I get this Saka for 400k seems really good. Isak, Martinez for that price, those cards really good. Valverde really good for the price. These cards could go up 10, 20,000 coins, 30,000 coins. Maybe in the next week, kind of like some of the cards from Team 1 have done. You take a look at Rashford, he was 240 just a couple days ago. He was 300,000 coins. He is right now. That's kind of where he's been, right? Konate has gone up crazy. He was 300,000 coins. Now he's over 400. Mamadashvili has gone from 180 to 255. So Team 1 did pretty good because there's a lot of hype with some of these cards. Team 2, you know, sure, there's some cards like even the Gerrard and the Charlton could end up being decent investments, but even a card like the Isak, Lautaro, and Valverde as budget options a lot of people may want to use, and of course, Saka being the price that he is, that's an interesting one. Teo Hernandez, Rodri, there's going to be some interest in investing in this team. What I would tell you to do is definitely try to get a bid or a snipe or something like that during Rivals Reward Supply because people will be opening their rewards today and you're going to have the opportunity to get some bids and some undercuts there. But for the rest of the market and even how well those cards start to rise up, it'll really just be dependent upon how the leaks look. And are there a lot of big leaks to be published for what is coming with Shapeshifters Team 3. If there's a lot of leaks, that's probably going to mean that there's not going to be as many people buying. Like if there's a huge Evo leak, like, oh my goodness, we're going to get that big Evo or we're going to get an insane player SBC, then you're probably not going to see too many prices just continue to fly up. But if there's not a whole lot and it doesn't look good, then prices could continue to rise. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. And if, once again, going back to that whole situation, if we do get a big SBC leak for a big player, again, I keep using the example of like Eto'o, right? One thing I would tell you to watch out for is fodder. If we get a massive player SBC or a promise of multiple, you might want to keep an eye on 91 rated cards. Sure, 90 Harry Kane is 6.5k, but 91 rateds are 9,000 coins. And the only way that EA is going to make an SBC expensive at this stage of the game is requiring 91 and 92 rated squads. So the cheapest 92s right now are the TOTS highlights cards, which would drop most likely after content. The cheapest 91s are 9,000 coins. The cheapest 93s, 15,000 coins right now too. The cheapest 94s, the Shapeshifters, and 95s are the Shapeshifters as well. I mean, there's maybe a little bit of a thought here to do a club stock of some of the Shapeshifter cards and maybe some of the cheaper like 94s and 5s, which mostly are Shapeshifters, but maybe even a couple of Team of the Seasons, like for a Freigang, Stein, Evander, or Stans, any of those cheapest at this 96 rated cards might be worth the stock because one of the cheapest ways to probably get a 92 rated squad done is like to put in a 96 or two. and then just throw in some of the 90 rated and below that you need to finish off that squad. I'm just guessing based off of that, but like that's maybe if you wanted to prepare, or if you see a big SBC leaked and that's kind of a reactionary market move that you have, that might be something to be looking at there. Now, last thing, let's talk about this Evo that is leaked right now for team number 2, the last day today of Shapeshifters Team 2 content. There is another center mid Evo. We just had a center mid Evo, right? The one that was just released called Sideline Superstar that we talked about, creating some unique cards, maybe not the best, but this one, instead of taking you from center mid to the wing, it's taking a center mid to center attacking mid. It gives Tiki Taka pinged and low driven plus. Great playstyle pluses. Unfortunately, low driven looks like it's third. If that was first, finally we'd have a decent low driven plus Evo. But Tiki Taka and pinged are still good. And maybe there is a card without any playstyle pluses that you could get low driven on as well. But that's the thing. If this gives 3 playstyle pluses, this to me signals another evolution that is max 3 playstyle pluses. Now, it looks like there might be a defensive and a physical cap or restriction on this Evo, and maybe even a restriction on the center defensive mid position, because I believe every single card below here that has a center defensive mid position and a high defense and physical stat does not fit. This Hullet does not have CDM. He does not fit. I believe it's the defending. When you take a look at some of the other stats in here, it doesn't look like the other stats that he has are a problem. So this Elmas card doesn't have CDM, 71 defending, 74 physical. He does fit. James Rodriguez, no CDM either. So I guess we don't have official requirements known for these yet, but it looks like it's going to have something to do with a center attacking mid who has no CDM position or has a lower defense like in the 70s and a physical that is like 91 or below, because this Danny Olmo does fit. That is one thing to mention. He does fit. Also max 3 positions, because it's going to be giving the center attacking mid position as well. So looks like maybe a little bit restrictive with how that looks there, but there could be some good cards that fit that evolution. One card I do want to shout out specifically is, if EA do not limit the dribbling and the shooting stats, potentially this Kika Nazareth could fit, because she has 90 physical and 73 defending, which is the same as Danny Olmo, and she has 3 positions. None of them are CDM. So that's just something. If this card fits in Evo, it could go up, and that would be a very hype card with the playstyle pluses she has and the stats that she has as well. So they'll probably do max 98 pass or dribble, as they always do with these Evos. But if they don't, that could end up being one of the most hype cards there. Now, I think that evolution could be today, because we didn't have anything yesterday and Wednesday, so I'm going to guess that Evo is today. Be watching out for that. So for the last day of SBC content, I do believe we'll have 1 player SBC. There still is a Dutch player that is leaked. It is yet to be named, but it's still out there. And as we've been talking about, the TOTS tradable pack refresh. So you can go ahead and do this one. I'm hoping and I'm guessing that this will refresh today. Again, it's an 86 rated with a TOTS. I haven't even done it because personally for me, I don't think that's worth it. I wish it was TOTS or Team of the Week. I would easily turn in a Team of the Week card and get a tradable TOTS back in that case. But since you can't, I've just kind of been skipping this one. I'm expecting this to refresh today and give us tradable TOTS supply, because people love a tradable pack, a chance to pack something good, a card that's not fodder basically from this pack, and that will bring the Team of the Season investment back to light. So that's kind of what we're expecting today. Not a whole lot else, because of it's a Thursday and the day before another promo. So watch out for the leaks regarding that. Now, the last thing I want to discuss in this video is a FC26 leak that we had yesterday, just because I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this, because to me, this one doesn't make any sense, if I'm being completely honest. This leak here from Detective Foot says, you're now going to be able to see the skill move and weak foot of both you and your opponent's selected player in game. The more the icons are shaded in black, the more stars the players has. So the example is Dembele is 5'5", so both icons are completely black. And you got to really focus. It's right here where I'm circling with the mouse. That's going to be so hard to see in game. That is so small at the bottom left of our game screen. Like, okay, the idea behind this, being able to look down and reference what is the skill moves and weak foot of the player that I have, that's golden. I like that, because there's so many times when I'm trying players out that I wonder myself, is my player, first of all, right-footed or left-footed? Do they have 5-star skills or a 5-star weak foot? Like, you don't remember off the top of the dome. So that's cool. But all they had to do was just show stars in here, you know, like show 4 stars for the foot, show 4 stars or 5 stars for like a skilling thing. Like, That's all that it would have taken, but we're going with something that's probably going to be more confusing and just maybe something that just adds an irrelevant feature, as he mentions here in this tweet, on top of things, and maybe even makes the game more difficult and glitchy some way. I don't know. I thought that is I feel like that comes from a good place, trying to help us out, and it could actually solve some good questions and problems, like what's my player's weak foot and skills? Just look and see what it is in game. But I don't know if that's the way to do it. So let me know you guys' thoughts based off of that leak right there in that tweet. But hopefully we get some more good leaks today for Shapeshifters team number 3, and maybe a little bit of decent content as well. That's going to be the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on it, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in the stream today. It's been TheFutAccountant. Have a great Thursday. Peace out.